Did you just click on this video and not subscribe?
That's fucked up. Come on, people, let's go. Get there.
Episode 1 of Call Him Papi. You got a podcast now.
Man, let me tell you, I had done so many commercial, TV show, here and there, blah, blah, blah. But I had never been able to do something for my own.
Yeah.
You know?
You can say whatever you want on this now.
That's
which is kind
like.
of a problem.
I would like to have free pass on everything.
Yeah, I'm going to keep you in line. I'm going to make sure the whole goal of this show, we're going to expand your horizon. We're going to be talking to a bunch of different people. But we're not trying to get you in trouble either. We're going to keep you directly in line throughout this whole course. Because we're going to be talking to guys like A-Rod, maybe Tom Brady, maybe Gronk. I mean, we're not going to throw out names because we don't know quite yet. But
yeah.
This is.
I make it happen.
Yeah. He knows a lot of people, so we're gonna end up talking to some people that we're gonna get the folks excited about. But for you, when did you start thinking like? Because I mean, I was actually thinking about the other day about how when you're in the Super Bowl, they have media day, and it's a week before the game. For you, in your last season, media day was every day. Like, so when did you start thinking about life after baseball?
Well, Jared, to be honest with you, I kind of like realized that a lot of people used to come to me and be like, man, you're bigger than life. And I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
I still don't know what that means, to be honest with you. But now that I don't play baseball, I try to basically take over what people used to basically tell me that I wasn't any of it. I understand that life is big and there's a life after a career.
Right.
To be honest with you, I don't miss baseball one day. To be honest, I don't miss being on the field. I don't miss playing, I really don't. Like my kids play baseball and I go to the field and, do all the stuff. I work for networks. I still work for the Red Sox. I go, to some game, but it's not like I'm dying for baseball anymore. I thought it was gonna be like that. Like I was gonna miss baseball a lot because the feeling of hitting a baseball or winning a ball game or fielding the ball, making a good play, make tons of people happy. Like, I watch games sometimes and I get so excited, and then I realize how much of excitement we bring to people, how much happiness.
Right.
But what I was playing, I never realized that.
I mean, what was it, the Jackie Bradley Grand Slam in the ALCS in 2018? That was when you, freaked out in the studio.
Yes.
Like, have you ever had, a fan moment like that before? Like,
no,
to that point?
No, like I'm living moment right now that my family look at me like, oh, what's going on here? Right. You know what I'm saying? Because when you are in it, you know that there's a lot of spectators out there, there's a lot of audience, watching you and stuff like that, but you have no clue about the impact.
I mean, that's why, so when you say that you don't miss baseball, I've talked to plenty of guys that they'll say the same thing, yeah, I'm retired, I don't miss baseball, and I'm like, bullshit. But with you had the best last season ever. You left everything on the table and you got to walk away on your terms. It wasn't a matter of it's oh, well, damn, he went out like that. It's you had one of the best final seasons of all time. So I genuinely believe you when you say, I don't miss it because I did everything that there is to be done. You did it all.
Well, reality is that one thing, if there's one thing that I miss about baseball is the happiness the smile that I used to put on people's faces. I love the smile because I was smiling. I just don't know the levels of happiness that people used to get. I'm
so fucking happy.
I'm
so happy.
Seriously, I'm living those moments now that I'm an spectator. I sit down to watch some game that I swear to God, I feel like I want to jump inside the TV.
Yeah.
That's how excited sometimes I get.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The other day I was watching the Red Sox game where my boy Verdugo,
he loves you.
He had this amazing I'm watching the game pitch by pitch, and I'm like, damn, this guy's locked in. Man, he's he's following up pitches out there inside. I was like in it 100%. Man hit a double down the line, bro. I had it I think I injured myself how I jumped at the time. I never feel that way. Not even when I got a really good hit.
Yeah.
To win a game. I was excited, yeah, happening. But the feeling that I had the other day, it was different though.
Yeah.
It was more intense for some reason. And I've been living those moments after I retired.
For sure. I mean, a guy like Verdugo, for example. So, there's a couple guys that, I'm friends with on the team now. And I think it was after that game in Minnesota where you messaged him. Mm-hmm. So they were on the team playing. And they sent me a video of him reading the message that you sent him. And he was like, oh my God, look who messaged me. He's freaking out. And before we came on here, you've got guys that are still active right now that are reaching out to you for advice. Or, I mean, just the fact that, you're watching the games and being like, hey, I love the way that you play right now. How often would you say, are you talking to guys right now that either you're reaching out to them, like Verdugo, you're reaching out directly, or they seek you out for advice and help?
It's in my case, I don't bother anybody. Even when I go to Fenway, sometimes I don't even go into the clubhouse because at some point I feel, I don't know, it probably was me.
Yeah.
That before the pandemic, when I used to go into the clubhouse, sometimes can turn out to be a distraction. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But that was at the beginning, right after I retired. At some point, it kind of cool off a little bit. But when I go in there, these guys, especially most of the guys that played with me while I was there still, the connection and the respect, mm-hmm. and I don't touch bases with you if you don't talk to me about it, because I know how that goes as a player. Sometimes people want to come and talk to you about something that you are doing wrong, but you're not in the mood, and then the message can be twisted. The mm-hmm. message can be, not taken the right way. So I'm very careful with that. But I don't always hit everybody in the DM,
Yeah.
I check everybody's IG. I'm not a big fan of posting things all the time, but whenever I see good things going around, I talk about it, And,
Yeah.
and Verdugo hit me back right away.
He was gonna cry.
Mookie the other day after the ceremony, at Dodger Stadium, he texted me, bro, whatever you feel right there. It was funny because I sent a message to this one kid that pitched for the Dodgers that he's a big fan of myself. The left-hander, Arias?
Yeah.
And they kind of picked their favorite player to send a message to them. And then at the end of the message, it was like, Mookie, why you didn't pick me?
I mean, that's kind of messed up.
He said, man, I was frozen when I saw that. He called me right away. But it was funny. It was hilarious. But the guys, they basically are busy trying to figure things out and this and that. But they know that I'm always open to give advice.
Right.
Because in baseball, you never start learning.
Right.
Baseball goes a long way, and I told him, man, I'm here for you. I'm having piña colada and watching you going crazy on TV. So I'm relaxed. Don't feel like you're bothering me.
Yep.
Shout out to our presenting sponsor, Nutrisystem for Men. Listen up, everyone. Can you imagine anything easier than getting food delivered to your door to help you lose weight? Anyone, and I mean anyone, can lose weight with Nutrisystem because it's simple. It's all planned out. You can get your breakfast, your lunch, dinner, and snacks. You don't have to worry about cooking, and the food is delivered right to your door. You just eat the food and lose the weight. You can lose up to 30 pounds in 90 days.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. 30 pounds in 90 days.
They would not even recognize me.
The food is really good. If you don't believe me, they offer a money-back guarantee. It is easy. I know, Papi, you like the bars?
I'm just trying it.
You're big into the bars. I love the vanilla. I mean, I do some of the powder here. Love that. You can get a promo code right here. It's Nutrisystem.com/BigPapi50. 50% off 2 months of food plus free shipping. It's a hell of a deal. Check it out today.
So 2003, I was a freshman in high school. So I've seen literally every pitch that you've ever taken with the Boston Red Sox. Like, I've seen it all. So
You watch every game?
Every game. I swear to God. Like at my junior prom, like I wore like a Red Sox shirt to junior prom.
I can tell.
Yeah, like I don't miss anything.
He's watching the game right now.
Yeah, like I don't think I've missed a game probably since before you were in Boston.
Just in case you think I'm playing.
I don't miss a game.
He got the game right now,
No.
right here.
I mean, it's probably the biggest interview of my life, but I'm like, hey, I mean, I can't miss a pitch. But, so I'm a freshman in high school in 2003 when you get there. And so I see the rise of David Ortiz. And like, I go to those events like the Buchholz Bowl and like the Nomar thing and like the Beckett Bowl. So like, I see you away from the field and it's like, this is like the Beatles. Like you almost had, the rise that you had was almost like godlike, where it's like when you follow this dude around, it's like there's an air in the room, there's a presence around this. When did you first feel that? Like, when did you first feel like, I'm the dude that got released by the Twins, and now I can walk into a room and I know everyone's looking at me?
You know what? It's funny how that worked because I never feel that way, to be honest with you.
You have to feel it, even if you don't feel that way yourself. You have to feel the energy in the room where it's like,
oh no,
the energy has changed because I just walked in.
The good thing, probably that I used to do, basically now knowing that I was doing it, I pretty much embrace everybody.
Yeah.
I had that connection with people because I'm a listener. Like I like to listen to what people have to say. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but you connect with people that way. I guess I had the aura that I can connect with people. And I guess that's a blessing, because people sometimes look at you and they see that you are famous, that you make tons of money, but then they're celebrity that they make people feel like they don't belong to the room. Mm-hmm. And I hate that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? To me, whoever is around me, whoever is, having a good time, to me, it has a value, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I don't discriminate. I don't do any of that crap. I'm pretty much try to be cool with everybody, you know? And to me, that has been great because people love that, in the world, there's a lot of things going on nowadays. People is very sensitive, more than ever. And then they see you doing that type of things that I have seen some celebrity doing. I don't know why, because when you are a celebrity, people, the fans, make us. So you have to be down with the people. Mm-hmm. I know that this situation that they kind of like get out of hands, but it's being fan, being a fanatic. Like, there's not a city that have more fanatic than Boston. Right. I don't think.
Right.
Like what I have seen Boston fans do to take a picture with you or to get an autograph.
What's the craziest thing a fan has done to get a picture with you or an autograph?
I was taking a dump in the bathroom. Dude was waiting for me outside the door.
What year is this?
It was like 2008.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
In a restaurant.
Yeah, that's right. That's reasonable. That's right in like the wheelhouse of everything.
You walk into the bathroom, right? I'm sitting, right? He's not outside the bathroom. He's outside the toilet door. Hey, Papi, can I take a picture, man? I'm like, I've been seeing you choose there for a minute. Yeah. You been standing up right there? Yeah, I've been waiting. That's not good. I can kill you.
Yeah. But that's in a way, that's almost a compliment to you that people think that you're approachable in that way.
No, but yeah, I mean, I was like, let me wash my hands first.
So you're out there, like you're a man of the people, but so like back to like those roots though. It's like You're a player to be named later in the Seattle trade. You get released by the Twins, and as the legend goes, like everyone knows the story now, you run into Pedro in the Dominican Republic, and he basically just pulls out his phone and is like, hey, Larry, we're signing this guy. Like, it wasn't even like a conversation. Like, it's basically like 2 days later, you have a contract with the Boston Red Sox. So walking, like, I got to walk around your house before you were here. Sorry about that. I got the whole tour and everything.
You like it?
It's a beautiful house. And, like, when you're walking around here, do you ever think back to those days where it was like, I got released? Like, a team was like, pay David Ortiz? Absolutely not. Like, that was that was a baseball executive's.
Actually, let me tell you something, to be honest with you. That wasn't really the case. The case was, I got released because I played for a small market team, and at the time, on arbitration, they were supposed to pay me $2 million. And they were arguing if they was gonna do it, if they wasn't gonna do it. And then while they were arguing, the time was running. And they got to the point that they decided to release me because it was either pay me or release me. My problem was because I know I was gonna get a job somewhere else. I just don't know where. But my problem was why you didn't make that decision right after the season. Why you gotta wait that long? And then my situation hit the chaos because now everybody had their team lined up. Like, that's why you see the organization, the team making so many moves right after the season, so they get the player that they need and they put the roster together the way they want. So by January, everybody's good to go. That wasn't my case.
No.
You know what I'm saying? But then I was lucky enough to bump into Pedro, and then you know the rest of the story.
Yeah. So he actually references, he was like, I've never seen a lefty, like he threw you a cutter inside that you turned on and just absolutely smoked, but you actually got him more than once. Like there's like, you got him in Minnesota and you got him at Fenway. So I was like, which one? When he's talking about like, oh, like Papi took me deep, it's like, which time?
No, Pedro was the guy that you don't really want to face.
No.
I swear to God, Pedro was the nastiest pitcher I ever seen in my life. Like, Pedro have 5 different pitchers. He got 5 different pitches that every single one of them was faulty.
Yeah.
Like when you talk to any other starter, pitcher, basically, ask them those questions and they will tell you, because I'm telling you as a hitter, the move that he breaking ball have, his changeup, he had the 4-seamer and the 2-seamer, and you don't know where the 2-seamer was gonna go. He had that slider that later on he was throwing like a cutter. Like Pedro was nasty, bro. Pedro, you know, like they're like a 0-4-4, and there is we call them you have the 0-4-4 where you hit the ball good a couple of times, you probably strike out one time, and you probably ground it out, hit a fly ball that you missed that pitch. That's a bad 0-4. But this is ridiculous 0-4, and Pedro is the one who gives us 3K, 3 punch out,
Yeah.
1 weak ground ball, or one jam pop up. You know, like Pedro was like, I faced a lot of good pitchers, a lot of them, nasty. But to me, Pedro was like the one guy who you don't know what to look for.
If there's one dude, because I know that RJ had your number. If there's one dude, it's like, all right, I got to pick RJ or Pedro. I got one hit.
Randy Johnson?
Yeah.
You know what? The thing is that Randy Johnson, I didn't face him much. I faced Randy Johnson probably, I don't even think I had 10 at bat against him.
Are you sure? I think it might be more than that.
You think?
Yeah.
Look up to that.
Because once he came to the Yankees too.
Yeah.
Before that, I mean, you weren't seeing Seattle, Randy.
No. Let me tell you, when he was on his prime, and I was in Minnesota, the manager in Minnesota, he didn't play one lefty against him. I mean, why would you?
Right.
You would donate again out.
Yeah.
Because Like even RJ towards the end of his career, that he don't have the velocity that he have. I mean, I'm talking about. I faced RJ, to be honest with you, when he was with the Yankees. Towards the end, I don't remember facing him before that.
Right. Yeah, because I don't think you would have seen him in like Arizona. or
No,
anything.
no. I don't remember facing him before.
I just
And I'm
remember
gonna
you
tell you,
saying that,
and
like,
I'm gonna
he's
tell you,
6'10",
he still give you a hard time, and
Yeah.
he wasn't throwing 100.
Yeah.
6'10", bro, and when he threw the ball, it was like he was slapping you in the face.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think there's one left-hander hitter that can say, like, hey, I hit you well against RJ.
Right.
I don't think so.
No, like no one's got that dude's number.
No. But guess what? There's a lot of guys. Think about this. It's funny because I saw that towards the end of my career. I saw a lot of guys with RJ velocity, but not the nastiest RJ was.
No, there was no one that had that type of slider on top of the fastball.
Like I'm
And
telling
the
you,
arm angle, like
I
no one-
faced lefty
Yeah.
97, 98, 100 more than ever. My last 5 years, and I don't. And let me tell you, like I said, I didn't face RJ much.
Right.
But what I saw towards the end of his career, I always think about that with 100 miles.
Yeah. Plus, it's coming out of the
When
clouds.
I faced him, that's what I got. When I faced him, he was like 91, 92. And he was getting people out. Left-hander was having issues with him.
Yeah. Yeah, and he was like 45.
I'm telling you. His angle and the way he threw the ball, it was just. But I got to talk about Pedro because I got more at bat against Pedro.
You do.
Yeah, I don't.
You got him at Fenway. You got him in Minnesota, and then I think the one in Minnesota is the one that he always talks about, where he was like,
Yeah, but
that guy's on my radar."
Pedro knows that I have really good quick hands, especially inside, which is where tall guys, big guys have problem with.
Yeah.
That wasn't my problem. My hands, I had the ability to keep it very close to my body so I can get inside the ball. Like I was able to drive inside pitches that if I don't hit it with the bat, it would.
Yeah. Then you got to hit me.
Yeah.
But there's dudes that say they get traded or they get released, and then they're like, yeah, it's just the business of baseball, and then they move on with their careers. But with you get released by the Twins, and your numbers against the Twins, I mean, you bludgeoned them to death. Like, I think it was like...
It was personal.
Yes. So, like, you'll acknowledge that, like, when you played against them, like, you tried harder.
Listen, no, actually, it wasn't that I was trying harder. I had the focus. Because sometimes it worked the opposite. When you try harder,
You press, yeah.
it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
I was zooming in every pitch when I used to play against them. Be honest with you, I want to do that against everybody, but there's that little chip on your shoulder that comes in when you're playing against the team that did you wrong or whatever, and then you go from there. But reality is that I really appreciate a lot of things from the Twins, even if things didn't end up the way you expect as a player. Because I learned the importance of working hard and not taking anything for granted. I learned it over there, and that's why when I came to Boston, at the beginning, things didn't start the way that we expect, but once I got the opportunity, I never let go. And I learned that playing over there.
Was there ever a point where, because I remember, I don't remember if it was like reports or if it was an actual thing, but in 03, because Jeremy Giambi was there, he was supposed to be the DH, and then they signed you because Pedro was like, if you don't sign this guy, like, I'm fucking gonna be pissed. So you come in, and there was almost this like battle for like give Ortiz at bats. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, was there ever a point where you almost like asked for a trade?
I did.
You did ask for a trade.
Yeah, I did.
Was it trade me, or was it like play me, or I want to be traded?
Well, I remember I called my agent and I told him, hey, if you're not here for breakfast tomorrow, you're fired. I called him by noon. He was there that night, Fernando. And I told him, hey, tomorrow we're gonna go to the field. You're gonna call a meeting with Tio Estem, who was the manager at the time. And I was like, and I want to go to the meeting. I want to say some things to him. All right. I just told Tio, release me, trade me, or play me.
What month is this?
We're talking about May, probably.
Okay.
Beginning of May. Mm-hmm. And I told him straight up, there's only one better hitter than me here in this team, Manny Ramirez. Mm-hmm. I'm better here than everybody else here. Mm-hmm. Let me play. I show you. Ask him.
Which is great, because like at first it was almost like you were getting branded as like the Yankee killer. It's like, yeah, all of his big hits were against the Yankees, and it's like, no, this dude can just hit against everyone. Like, what are we doing? Like, he should be playing full time. Like, I remember it was a late night West Coast game. The first home run in a Red Sox uniform was against the Angels. Your first walk-off hit against the Yankees? It wasn't a homer. It was a hit, a walk-off hit.
It was like a double, yeah.
Yeah, so like that was against the Yankees. It's like, oh my God, he's a Yankee killer. Like everyone back then was so eager to just be like, this guy's a Yankee killer. It's like, no. He's an everybody killer. Like get him in the lineup every single day. So at what point, besides that meeting in May, like when you're going out there saying like, hey, put me in the lineup or trade me, and then they choose to put you in the lineup, at what point were you like, I'm here to stay, like I'm proving my point? Like what was that moment?
No, right away.
Right away.
Right away. When the crucial point was, I remember we were playing a game in Philadelphia, and
is that the Manny game?
Well,
in Philly.
What happened?
That was like Manny like didn't want to play, and then he said he could play, but then the team was like, no, like you said you couldn't, so then they kind of just rallied. I think like Trot went off.
When he was when he was saying that he was having injury.
And then he.
No, actually, that was after. That
okay.
What you were saying.
This was 03 in Philly.
Yeah, this is 03 in Philly. What I'm telling you, the Manny thing was before we traded him to the Dodgers.
Yeah.
But it was this one game I came in, I pinch hit. I think I hit a double. And then the next day I wasn't playing. And I think it was a 4-game series, I could be wrong. But I played this one game that Pedro was pitching before that. And I think I went 4 for 5 with like 2 bombs and I got like 4 or 5. Yeah, the thing is that Pedro won that game. And the team had problems when Pedro was pitching. You know, the guy from the other side come and pitch the game of his life because he's facing Pedro Martinez, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We faced that tons of time. So offense was needed, especially when Pedro was pitching. So all I remember is that Pedro, he got to the field, he looked at the lineup. He saw that I wasn't in the lineup. He took the lineup. He told the manager, "Let's have a meeting. David got to play."
And this was what month? This was like what, June, July, maybe?
Yeah, that was right after that meeting, like around that time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't really remember if it was before or after that meeting.
Yeah.
All I know that Pedro was like, "Put him in the lineup.
Yeah.
I need offense." He went off, and I think I had a good game. And the next day I didn't play. It was a lot of ups and downs at the beginning, you know.
Yeah.
And I wasn't comfortable with it because I know I wasn't an everyday player. That platooning things in baseball, to me, I never believe in that.
Right. Like that's almost like a lost narrative too.
Not play tomorrow. I don't. There's guys that you know that they need to play every day. So at the end of the season, you're gonna see those numbers out there. Mm-hmm. But those same guys, you platoon those guys, and you're not gonna see the result.
I think like the further we get away from 2003, the more people forget that the Red Sox were like, yeah, David Ortiz, I guess he can play sometimes. Like that's just like a great before, and it's the year before 2004. So kind of off topic, but when you were talking about Juan Soto, and I think it was like in 19, mm-hmm. you were like, this dude is playing with the confidence that I was playing when I was, I think you said like 26 or something like that?
Yeah.
What season were you, was your age 26 season 2004?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
actually, I did say, what I was trying basically to say is like after my first couple of years in Boston, that I built my confidence at the highest level, this kid is playing with that type of confidence at the age of 21.
Right.
And it's not that I'm saying, I'm seeing it.
Right.
He's at bat, pitch by pitch. He can, listen, at some point I'm watching him hit, and there's a story about Ted Williams that he said, I think it was Ted Williams that used to say that he can see it was the rotation on the baseball or the routing or something.
You can see like the seams,
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
He act like he's seeing that type of things. He's not just seeing the baseball. Like I remember they throw a pitch to this kid like an inch and a half above the strike zone. The umpire called a ball, and I read his lip when he told the catcher, bring it down an inch, and I show you if it's gonna be a strike.
Yeah.
He brought it down an inch, and he hit that ball out of the stadium.
Yeah, I think that was against the Astros, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I saw that, and I was like, this guy's not from this planet.
No, he's something different. But the fact that you could see that, like yourself in him then, it almost gives me like the sense that like I don't think people appreciated kind of like how young you were when this was going on. Like when you were, what the fuck? when you were like in 2003, 2004. So now you get into 2004 and it's like, this is our guy. Like you didn't feel like you had to compete for a job anymore. It was like, this is our guy.
No, actually, it's the opposite.
In what way?
And the way that happened with a lot of players, that they get too comfortable, all of a sudden they end up losing their job. I feel like I had competition into the last day I played, to be honest with you. You never heard anything bad about myself while I was playing in Boston because I was so locked in on what I had to do on the field that I had I had no room to think about nothing else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I was an employee for the Red Sox that had to come every day and do something. That was my goal. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And thanks God, things work out.
Yeah, things did work out. 2004. I mean, like, I feel like when I asked you when did you feel that transition almost, and you said you didn't feel it, but it was there. That godlike status, because I think that that's almost lacking in today's game, where there are many guys who are absolute stars in this game, but if they walked into a room and be like, oh yeah, you know, there's so and so, like, and you don't feel that same aura around them. So 2004 happens, and this is a season that, I feel like people, again, like you get further away from it, people misremember. It's like, you know, the Nomar trade, like that almost didn't happen. Like it wasn't like that was some wagon. It was a good team, wasn't a wagon team. That team didn't win the division. That was a wild card team. So when you get into 2004, it's your second year in Boston. How much of it were you aware of like the curse? And it's been 86 years. Like at that point, do you even care about that stuff?
I don't even know that was true.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that team.
I
like,
got familiar with once I got there, and then we lost the 2003 playoffs.
Right.
That hit me. I swear to God, people had no idea how much that impacted me that offseason. Because I was so focused on wanting to play that the history of the team, I put it aside.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, there's a lot of players that they comes and go to different things, and I guarantee you, not all of them, but I would say a good amount, 70% of the players, they play in a team that they don't even know what the history of the team is.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? I catch up a year later. When I was watching video, when I was seeing the fan reaction, what they expect, that hit home for me. That hit home for me. I went that off season. I know I was gonna play. So that off season, I worked extremely hard to get prepared for the season. And then all I heard in the spring training, that was a fever year. Mm-hmm. That's all I heard in the spring training because the negativity hit you at the gate over there. Mm-hmm. Oh, that was a fever year. He's not gonna put another year like that.
Right.
Oh, really? We'll see. Yeah, I take it personal.
Yeah.
I took it personal, but after the season, I was very happy with myself And that motivated me to keep going. I never stopped. I remember that one year that I struggled at the beginning, the first couple of months, I couldn't sleep because I couldn't figure out what was happening with my swing. I was seeing the ball good. I can hit it. It was the weirdest thing. And then your mind start playing game with you. You know what I'm saying? I even went to see an eye doctor.
I mean, that's just not even...
Bro, I swear to God, I thought I was losing it.
What year are you talking about? You're talking about like
2009.
Oh, nine. Yeah, you didn't homer
I
until
didn't hit a homer
May.
for like...
It was like May 20th or something. Yeah.
Something stupid.
Yeah.
Because a guy like me, all I got to do is just run into one ball and that's it.
Yeah.
It took me 2 months.
And you still, I think, had 30 and 100.
Yeah, I got that. I got hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got hot. But you have no idea what I went through those 2 months. And it was just a simple call from one of my friends. Because the year before, I don't know if you remember that I had that injury.
In Baltimore.
Yeah, so I missed like 3 months. And they don't want me to swing in the off season. They want me to wait to spring training to take some swing. I never done that before. So when I came back, I created a loop on my swing.
Yeah.
So my swing was like this. Everything was like this. I was hitting the ball good, fastball, high fastball. And if I hit it, it was a pop-up or grounded. Like I can really, my swing was messed up. The whole time, one of my boys called me and said, "You got a loop in your swing." I mean, what are you talking about? Yeah, you swing like you playing tennis. You think? No, go and watch the video. What did you look at the video? And I was, you know what I was looking at the video?
What?
I was looking at my bottom half.
Yeah.
If I was lined up, if I was getting out of the way early down here, I wasn't focusing on my hand. And my hand was the problem.
Yeah.
So then I started doing this exercise, which is getting on top of the ball, because nowadays, you know, they want to teach the kids how to uppercut everything.
Right.
And that's why we're having so many strikeouts nowadays. In my time, if you strike out 100 times, you stink.
Yeah.
Now the kids strike out 200 times. Oh, where'd it go? No.
Right.
To me, when you strike out 200 times, you lost so many opportunities. You miss so many opportunities to put your thing in a better situation.
Yep.
Because you're not putting the ball in play at all. So to me, hitters need to worry about that. Because there's so many different ways to win a ball game than just hitting a home run.
Would you say that was that start to the 09 season, was that the most you were ever like mentally like tested in your career?
Yes. And I tell you what, that probably was the best thing that ever happened to me. Because you learn not from the good things, you learn from the bad things.
That was worse than 10. Because I remember in 2010, that was when Mike Lowell couldn't play first anymore, he couldn't play third anymore. And like there was a point where I remember you went out to the on deck circle, like you were taking your hacks, you got called back and Mike Lowell got sent out because I think it was a lefty that was on the mound.
Yeah.
So it was like, all right, David's not gonna face this lefty, we're gonna send Mikey out there. Like that was bad.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah.
And I thank God that the camera didn't follow me all the way down. That was at Toronto.
Yeah.
That was pretty bad. But the thing is that they don't know, the organization at the time don't know what they want to do with me and Mikey Lowe. You know what I'm saying? Mikey Lowe was on his way out. You know, they, in their mind, they were thinking about what happened the first couple of months in 09. So at some point, it's not even the organization, it's the heat that they get from the media. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then they feel like they had to do what the media say because otherwise, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But then at some point, everything just, you know, go ahead and play your game. Mikey, we're gonna platoon with you, whatever. David got to be in the lineup. Then I got hot and then I hit 30 and 100 again.
Yeah, sorry
Simple.
about it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to skip past 04. We're in 04.
Sorry for interrupting your interview. Really
Yes.
quick.
Yes, real quick.
We just got an ad. We gotta pay the Poppy's bills.
Come on, man.
All right, 1 second. We'll be
We'll be
right
right back.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second.
David Ortiz, Big Poppy, huge whiskey guy. I'm a
Yes, I
huge
am.
whiskey guy. You could be too. all you got to do right now, go to whistlepig.com, 100% rye. Go get some yourself.
Do it.
And you're starting to get an appreciation for like the history of the team. Like you're like, all right, I know this shit. Plus I was on the 03 team. A lot of the guys that were on the 03 team, they come back in 04. So it's more about just like, all right, there's a history between the Red Sox and the Yankees. I get all that. That's cool that the fans are in all that. But I was on that team last year, so now I am personally offended by what you guys did last year. So what did you take from that and use it throughout the 04 season? Because it's like, I remember, what was it? It was David, you took David Wells deep, right? Mm-hmm. That was one of my favorite moments of like that whole series is him just screaming, fuck! Like that, because he knew that it was over. Like that game was over. Like, do you remember Grady Little coming out and not leaving with Pedro in Game 7?
Here's the thing. Let me tell you what I think about the 2003, the way things went down. Pedro is the best pitcher on earth at the time.
Ever.
Our bullpen was hurting. We're facing the Yankees. Pedro had dominated the Yankees many times. I know he had, 100 pitches at the time?
It was, yeah, he was getting up there.
He was getting up there,
Yeah.
right? You got two choices. You either go to the bullpen that is getting killed by the Yankees,
Yeah.
or leave Pedro. One or the other, if you are designed to lose that game, one of them was going to bury you.
Mm-hmm. So
But to me, if Pedro get that out,
everyone looks like a genius. Everyone's like, wow, look at
because
the balls.
I've seen
like
that
Grady
happen
Little.
many times.
Yeah.
You leave your ace, you win, good move. Mm-hmm. You take your ace out. Look at what happened last year in the playoffs.
Yeah. That was like, he was at like what, fucking like 70-something pitches?
Dude,
Yeah, it was
why would you
bad.
take him out?
It was bad.
See?
Yeah.
I don't hear many people talking about it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you take him out?
Mm-hmm. But with Grady Little, like where are you at that time? Are you in the dugout? Are you in the clubhouse?
I'm
Like,
in the dugout.
So you're in the dugout. He goes out, doesn't come back with Pedro. Are you just like, oh fuck, like this is happening? Or are you like, good move?
Hey, listen. The
What's
one
like the
thing
pop-
that you
the
can never
Papi
do.
vibe check at that point?
I know you're gonna be a manager one day in the big league. So take this. If your mentality is, I'm gonna go and take you out, don't go out there and ask the pitcher how you feel.
Because he'll always tell you that he feels fine. Yeah.
You know what I'm
Especially
saying? The
Pedro.
answer gonna convince you. And then you're gonna ask Pedro Martinez how he feel at that
Right.
stage.
Yeah.
You
In
know what
that
I'm saying?
situation, yeah.
How we doing? Or give me the ball. How we doing? Good? Keep pitching.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the base. What? No, once you give me that base, but it's over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To me, I'm okay with it, even if we end up losing. But we learned so much from that series because it went down exactly the same way the following season. Mm-hmm. Exactly the same way.
Yeah.
When I saw David Well coming, I was like, here comes my breaking ball. I swear to God. Here comes my breaking ball. I started the game. I had a plan. I basically, I had a good memory, which is important in baseball. Got a good memory. And I would trust what I thought about, which is the biggest problem that we have as a player.
Yeah.
Pitcher, hitters.
Well, I was going to ask you about your memory, but that comes in 2013 because we got to talk about Joaquin Benoit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that memory came into play in 2013. So I was at Game 4 of the ALCS in 04, and I maintain that was the loudest Fenway Park has ever been and ever will be. Yeah, because you can't, now that they've won, you cannot duplicate the anger. Like, you're down 0-3, haven't won a World Series in 86 years. It's the Yankees. I mean, now that they've won, now that like you've scratched that itch, you can't be that pissed off about not winning anymore, at least until you go another 86 years.
Yeah.
So it was that entire situation be like, really? Like after 03 and it's like game 7 and you had a lead and it's the 8th inning and it's Pedro and you were so close and people forget the Red Sox kicked the shit out of the Marlins in 03.
Oh yeah.
That's who you would have met in the World Series and everyone's like, it was right there. Like all you had to do was just take Pedro out of the game. So that crowd was like the angriest and like angstiest I've ever been a part of ever.
I can imagine.
You were there.
I can imagine.
I don't know if you remember.
I mean, to be honest with you, when you, like I say, after that series, we lost, that offseason was that I got really, really familiar with everything that was going on in Boston.
Yeah.
Now when I get there, a year later.
Yeah. Well, because now you're making it a home. Like that first year, you're like, I don't even know if I'm going to be here longer than 2 months. Now it's like,
I got too much going on to begin with to focus on other stuff. So I was lacking on trying to play this netball once that season, end up that way. Then I start watching TV. I have my, I start watching pretty much how the season went down and everything, and people's thoughts and stuff like that. And it was like, wow, this is really, really big deal.
Yeah. What was it like going home after game 3, 19-8, knowing you're down 0-3 and you just got your doors blown off? Like, do you have the mentality of basically what Millar was saying? Like, don't let us win tonight, because if we win tonight, you get Pedro in game 5, you get Schilling in game 6, and anything can happen in game 7? Or is it just like this team kind of is substantially better right now? Like they're just playing much better baseball.
Just so people know, after the 2003 season, a lot of people from my country became to be Red Sox fans.
Yeah.
They went from being Yankee fans to Red Sox fans, like immediately.
And there were already some Dominican dudes there.
We messed that up for the Yankees.
Yeah.
We messed that up for y'all. But a lot of people was like, man, they used to call us the Three King back home.
Yeah.
After that season. And people just, but then I start feeling more heat from the people back home. I would say after the 2005 season, no, 2006 season, where we don't even made it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So then I was like, wow, this is getting to another level, you know, fans-wise. And to me, it was good, because I entertained myself with getting busy and trying to get better as a player, grow as a player.
You did a good job.
Did okay, yeah.
So, like, that's Paul Quantrill in the 12th with the homer. So, like, are you, like, do you remember that about? Because I know a lot of dudes, like, I talked to Aaron Boone, and when he hit the home run in 03, and I was like, what do you remember about that? And he was like, absolutely nothing. Like, the whole thing is a blur.
I remember like it was yesterday.
What was it? It was something down and in, right?
Yeah, Paul, he had this four-seamer fastball that he liked to throw it at you and then come back to the plate.
Yeah.
You first thought when you said that ball coming is couldn't the fuck away.
Yeah. If you pull your hands in, you can barrel that.
Well, here's the thing. For you to be able to hit that pitch, you have to do two things right before the ball even get to you. Number one is not thinking that the ball is gonna hit you. And number two, you wanna keep your hands close to your body so you can get inside of it, because it's in a small gap in between when the ball start going to the plate. Like once you seize it, it's ball.
Yeah.
But your memory gonna dictate if that ball is coming back to the plate.
Right.
Because he had that, but he also had the quarter. So it was up to you what you feel like you want to dictate. So he used to get me out with that pitch before. And I thought about that. Man, here, come and throw me that four-seamer. And he did. And I make him pay.
Yeah, you did. Like, is that something that you've always had throughout your whole career? Is just like this database in your brain, and like, is it just something that you've always been like, okay, this helps me, so I'm gonna remember to do it, or did someone pull you aside and say, hey, you're gonna want to basically log these in your brain to have success later on?
It's funny how that worked. I was looking for my wallet here for 3 days. I couldn't remember where I put it at.
Well, yeah, you're retired now. You don't have to worry about that stuff.
You're right. You know, I used to remember. I used to keep the track of pretty much a lot of things while I play pitches, prior to bats. You know how you change. Your fast was working that day, because sometimes it goes both ways. Pitcher give a lot of credit to hitters. Hitter give a lot of credit to pitcher. You know, and nobody's perfect. The best pitcher in the game, they make mistake.
Yeah.
It's like the best hitter in the game, they miss their pitches, you know? So you need to try to, you don't cover 100%, but you try to cover the percentage that you feel comfortable with, that you're successful at.
Right.
More likely, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I do my database. I used to, better way to say it because I don't play baseball anymore, but I used to like be around that. And the day that I try to do less, the better day I have because of it.
So after game 4, like you hit the walk-off homer off of Quantrill, you're coming around the bases, and is that just like, okay, this is a feel-good moment, but we're still down 3-1 in the series. Like we don't even have a trip to New York planned at this point. Like where are you at in terms of like, we can actually do this? At that point, is it nice to just get one?
Yes.
We didn't get swept?
Well, the thing is that you have no room to lose a game. So when you're in a situation, you always are on top of your toes. Because if you lose, what's gonna happen? You're going home. It's over. So I didn't get to face that situation much. We faced a situation where we win the first game, the second game, now the third game, then you go to the fourth game. Hey, get out of here. And that's my dog, by the way. They like to be
Happy.
around. Happy. Bye-bye, Happy. Talking. Anyway,
Say hey, that's
while I play, especially during the playoff, when the team that we were beating, we were up, we don't want to let go. We don't want to let go. It happened a couple of times during the World Series. We beat Colorado, who was the hottest team.
Yeah, well, what are they win, like 21 on it?
Yeah, and then they had that break.
Yeah.
We were playing, I think that didn't help them. And then we beat St. Louis, who had a really good team.
They won 105 games that year.
Yes. So actually it was the opposite. St. Louis first and then Colorado.
Right.
But we never thought about feeling comfortable because the series was 2-1 or 3-1 or whatever. And when it was vice versa, that we were down, the engine was on all the time.
So like now that like I'm thinking about it, it almost makes sense about the Twins thing, where like the same way that you would be in the postseason is the same way that you would kind of just be against the Twins, where it's like, if I have, don't give me an extra reason why, because I'm already good as it is, but if I can just put on like that super focus, now it's going to be a problem. And like that's why, so like when you're talking about the legend of David Ortiz being Mr. October and this October legend, the reason behind it is because you can tap into a super focus when you're already focused.
Yeah, the focus can never get away. I never, like I was able to, we humans. People sometimes forget about that. We humans, we feel and act exactly just like everybody else. We got problems, we got family that get sick, we got things that happen, you know what I'm saying? But in my situation, I used to, left the bag in the parking lot and put the Superman cap on, go play baseball, come back, and do exactly the opposite because you have to. There's no way you can play the game out there not being focused.
Yeah.
Focusing is the number one thing in baseball. Your mind play a huge role when it comes down to it.
Game 5, Esteban Loaiza. What was that, the 14th? I mean, it was fucking late. It was late. Right? It was late. I mean,
you gotta go to school next day.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah, like it was exhausting to not play and just watch these games. Like, what was that like for you? Where it's like Game 4 and Game 5. Not only are these games going late, but you're the dude that's exhausting all your energy to physically will this team to victory and actually do it. Like, what time are you getting home? What time are you falling asleep? What time are you waking up? Like people, like you said, people take the human element out of it. They're just like, I'm gonna put on this game like it's a scripted reality TV show, and I'm just gonna like these are my favorite characters, not realizing this is real. Like these are real athletes that are performing, and like they have lives as well. Like, what was that like as a human being to maneuver through that?
You know what the problem is? Every human carries something named adrenaline. Some people never discover that part of their body. Some others do. Adrenaline, it works in different stage where it can work the way that you don't even feel what is going on. Somebody use it and all of a sudden is, put you in a position where you end up dying. Mm-hmm. Because the adrenaline take things to the next level. The adrenaline don't let you think. And that was happening to me in those 14 innings. I don't know if I was tired. I don't know if I was like the adrenaline, the intensity. Mm-hmm. And that game, I swear to God, don't even let you feel the cold weather. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, cold weather was my number one enemy.
Yeah.
I don't like cold weather. That's why I don't have many good Aprils.
Right.
But it was because of it. Now, those April that we started on the road, it was better for me until we hit that cold weather.
Unless you start, I remember, what was it, Cleveland? You started in Cleveland for your last season, 16? And you were dressed like a scuba diver, pretty much. But you still had a home run. You were in there with like the scuba gear on, and start the game in Cleveland, boom, done.
I went very confident into that season because I prepared for it, man. Like I told myself I'm gonna give everything I have my last season, and it was zero negativity on my mind. Like my mind was just like, just give everything we got.
Yeah.
This is the last dance.
Yeah. So 16 is obviously the last season, but 04, you blow past the Yankees. And because I remember I've talked to Schilling about this, I've talked to Millar about this, I've talked to like a bunch of 04 guys, and they kind of all said the same thing, that once the Yankee series was over, they kind of looked at the scouting report for, even though it was a 105-win St. Louis Cardinals team, everyone kind of looked at like those reports and they were like, we're not going to lose a game. Like, how did you feel going into that World Series? Like, how confident were you?
Confidence level were pretty high. We went in hard. I never look at them as the type of team that it was going to be easy to beat because they came in with a good record. But I know that we had something more special than what they had bring to the table. Mm-hmm. And not gonna lie, we feel like we be the best team in baseball at the time. The Yankees had thunder, like real thunder. Mm-hmm. That Yankee lineup was no joke. And the pitching staff as well. Mm-hmm. So if you were able to get through the Yankees in 2004,
that was the World Series. Yeah.
That was.
Yeah.
Because we just whooped St. Louis.
Yeah, they never had a lead.
We just whooped them.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So that's basically, to me, when you achieve this godlike status. And everyone, my favorite David Ortiz home run of all time was not in a major league game.
What was it?
So you guys, actually there's two, and neither of them are major league games. So you guys win the World Series in 2004. You immediately go to Japan and you hit like a 600-foot home run at the Tokyo Dome that like almost knocks down the back
You were
wall.
watching that?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Like it was legitimately like over 500 feet. Like, do you remember seeing like the looks on these people? Like they thought that you were from outer space. They're like, what just happened there?
You know what the funny thing is? I remember going back to the dugout and I was expecting everybody to high five me. Nobody was watching me. Everybody was watching.
Trying to find where the ball went. Yeah.
Like, hey, I was the one who hit it. What's up? Then Rocket went like, oh, Papi.
Yeah. Like, did you agree to that? Or was it like you had to do that? Like after an
was
04 World Series grind, like that was like a week later. Now you got to go to Japan and play more baseball?
Yeah, they used to pick an all-star team to go there. And I never been in Tokyo. I was like, I'm in.
Yeah.
You know, but reality is that it was a great experience going out there and being with all the superstars and everybody was expecting to get their ass beat over there.
Yeah. I mean, I want to say Daisuke was there. Was he not there?
I think no, Daisuke was
playing for the Japan team.
Daisuke was my second, let me see.
Daisuke signed with the Red Sox in 07.
Actually, yes, you're right.
But he was playing against
Yes,
Yeah.
you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right.
That was wild.
Yeah, he was playing then, and then after that, he came to play in the state with us.
Is that the longest ball you think you've ever hit in your life?
Probably.
It has to be.
Probably. That was bad.
That was real bad.
That was bad, though.
Yeah.
It seems like I should have with a bazooka.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you even had the energy to do that after 04 is insane. But so 05, after the 05 season, are you thinking to yourself, all right, you just told me that I can't win the MVP. Like, if that season isn't good enough to win the MVP, you're never going to give it to a DH, so just say that.
Yeah, after that, I was like, well, I guess I don't care about that anymore.
Yeah, I mean, like, that was an MVP season. Who won it? A-Rod? Did A-Rod win in 05? Mm-hmm. So A-Rod wins it in 05, and it's like, okay, you basically won that MVP because you stand out there at third base and I don't stand out there at first base. Like, if we were to compare offensive performances and value that we brought to each other's teams, I am more valuable to the Red Sox than you are to the Yankees.
Just like that. I don't want to add any more to it. You know, it was just like that. But it's okay, you know, like.
No, it's not.
In my case, you know, I think sometimes you don't win MVP. An MVP award, you probably don't get one of those, but you can count yourself as an MVP because of what you did for your ball club, where you went, how far you go, you know. There's so many things that attach you to it. And, you know, like, yeah, at the beginning I was like, man, I should have won that. You know, I mean, What happened? What's going on? Because I put a season together that it was ridiculous.
It was like 148 RBIs
yeah,
or something like that?
It was bad, yeah. It was bad.
It was bad.
It was bad. I put a crazy season in. Nothing, but
I mean, like,
it is what it is.
Bottom line is there are a lot of awards back here, a lot of Silver Sluggers, World Series MVPs, which obviously count more. But that was 05 was the year that you should have won MVP.
Yeah. MVP is always winning an MVP. Separate yourself from everything else, you know. And like I said, I was expecting it didn't happen. What can you do?
What can you do? I mean, we've got 5 minutes left before we hit an hour, so I want to hit before we wrap up. 06 was the year that you break the Red Sox single season home run record. Like, how locked in did you actually feel that? Like, in your head, were you like, why are you guys still pitching to me?
They still pitching to me because we wasn't going anywhere, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, because we finished like third?
Something like that.
In the division, something like that. But I started the season hot. I was hot all year round, and it was one of those years that everything that you hit on the earth is gone. It was unbelievable. Like, I feel like I was hitting bomb every day. Mm-hmm. You know, but like I say, you know, we basically, that year was another learning year for the following season. Because then the team went out there and got what they want, or better way to say, what we really need. They went all the way around Earth and picked players from everywhere. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh yeah, they got Dice K that year. They got JD Drew.
Yeah,
it was a package deal
from Asia all the way down to the Bahamas.
Yeah,
we picked players from everywhere.
Yeah,
and that was it. That was something that the chemistry and everything was there.
Why do you think the 07 team was kind of like the redheaded stepchild of the 4 World Series titles? Like when everyone says like, all right, rank your favorite Red Sox World Series teams, why do you think 07 is always like last?
Because of what happened in 04.
Yeah.
04 just disconnect everything.
I mean, you have to put 04 number 1.
Yes, without a doubt.
And then 13 holds a special place with everyone because of the marathon.
Yes, because everything that happened, and then you go to the other one, and then the other one.
And then 18 is just like the most dominant team in Red Sox history.
18 was the type of year that we show the whole plan, the whole planet, what the Red Sox are all about.
Yeah.
You come here, we're gonna whoop your ass.
Was it
simple as that?
Was there almost?
I don't care where you come from. We're gonna whoop your ass. I enjoyed that season like I was playing.
Yeah. Like, so was there a sense of relief for you when they won in 18? Because I thought for sure when you retire in 2016 that the narrative as time went on was they can't do it without David Ortiz.
No, you know what? I never had that feeling. To be honest, I had the feeling that we were gonna struggle for a couple of years until we found someone. But once we had a JD.
Yep.
I was like, okay, because our lineup functioned this way. You need to have a center hitter that take all the responsibility and all the heat so the rest of the lineup is spread out and get things good. But you need to have that one guy that the whole focus go to him. Once go to him, it take pressure from everybody. That's what I did. That's what Manny did. You know? We took pressure from everybody else because the pitcher had to focus, like in on us, so much. You know what I'm saying? So once I heard that we were gonna sign JD, boom, right away I went like, okay, now we roll.
Yeah.
Because JD is the same type of guy on the lineup. He have a great presence. He gonna be protecting Mookie, Bogart, Dever, all those kids. They're gonna, you know, he's gonna be able to take pressure off of all of them. Mm-hmm. The rest is history.
Yeah.
Like that year, to be honest with you, and I don't know if I'm saying this because I'm a fan now, but that year, do you know how you check the Red Sox every day?
Yeah.
At some point, I started checking the Red Sox. I was like, what was the score tomorrow? By how much we won last night?
Yeah.
That was the question.
Yeah.
Seemed like those guys win every day
at
the time.
108.
So it was magical.
Yeah, and like that season, I was relieved for you because I feel like now, if they didn't win that one, and say it goes on for like 20, 25, 30 years, you're going to be asked about that. Like, I mean, shit, is it the curse of David Ortiz now? Like, David Ortiz is gone. Red Sox haven't won a World Series title.
One thing I noticed was the chemistry walking into the clubhouse.
Yeah.
You know, 17 was the type of year that it's expected. I'm not the whole team, but I had a great presence. You have a whole bunch of young, talented kids there that they are leaders by their way because everybody very respectful in the clubhouse.
Yep.
So, but I wasn't expecting to be that long, to be honest with you. I wasn't expecting it. Because players are different nowadays. Players know how to figure the way to contribute to win ball games. You know, that is very special. And you see now that the punches, when it comes down to winning World Series, come from different directions. Mm-hmm. Kansas City, the Cubs, the National, you know.
Houston.
Pretty much everybody was expecting, you know, pretty much they say, no, it's going to be Red Sox, Yankees, and Dodgers, or one of those teams, big payroll.
Yeah.
So that's what makes baseball interesting now.
If you're 21 or over and you dip tobacco, pouches, or long cut, you have to try the tobacco alternative, Black Buffalo. It's everything that you love about dipping, including pharmaceutical-grade nicotine, just without the actual tobacco leaf or stem. It's dip literally made from edible green leaves and food-grade ingredients with the same flavors and texture as traditional tobacco products. No compromise. Black Buffalo sells products on their website at blackbuffalo.com and is available in both long cut and pouches, as well as nicotine-free versions called Zero. Actually, I used to dip a lot back then. Yeah, I used to go to Fenway a lot back in the day, and I would throw a lip in to watch David Ortiz of the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, man. I used to get my groove on.
Yeah.
While I was gonna go to him, man, I have to.
I mean, shit. That was my Fenway routine, but I kicked it. All done because of Black Buffalo, and you can too if you use promo code Big Papi at checkout. You get 20% off your first order on Black Buffalo.
20% off, people. Come on.
Good deal.
Come on.
What year would you say by the end of it you were the most like drained physically? Like in terms of the championships, because 04 I can't even imagine. And then 13, that also feels to me like a year where like there's so much riding on that emotionally, like from what happened to the city, and then you hit 688 in the World Series, and these guys, again, why are you still pitching to him? And I think was it Wainwright?
They stopped.
There was someone else.
Too late.
There was someone, I think it was Wainwright, where they told him to pitch around you, and he was like, no, I want to get him out. And then he didn't.
Yeah, I mean, no disrespect, I was just hot.
Yeah.
You know, Wainwright, great pitcher. This whole St. Louis staff was really good. Wainwright had the nasty
They had the best
breaking ball.
record in the National League that
Yes, yes. But I was hot, man. When you truck you anything you swing, it just like it comes through.
Yeah.
I was that hot, you know. So when you facing guy like that, you just don't mess with him. Simple as that.
And you're used to that though. Like when you're that hot, you're not even in shock of your own performance. You're more just like, yeah, like no, I've done this
No,
before.
actually, I get greedy.
Yeah, you want more.
I used to get greedy.
Yeah. Well, because who was it? It was it Beltran that robbed you of a home run?
Yeah.
Like you should have even had, like it should have been, the number should have been better. Like it was basically you hit 688, the OPS was over like 2,000, and it should have been better. Like you got robbed of a home run in that
got
World
me a
Series.
homer over there in Boston. But baseball it's funny how baseball works, you know what I'm saying? Because the more hit you can get them.
Yep.
Because you get to the point in baseball that you hit the ball, slap it in the face, and you are out.
Yep.
You seen the ball good, you hitting the ball good, no result.
Mm-hmm.
So when you feel like everything is coming through, you gotta get gritty. You gotta get gritty.
The first game after the bombing, when you showed up to Fenway, did you know that you were going to speak that day? Or did they ask you, like, hey, we're just going to give you a mic and you can say whatever you want?
No, they basically told me, hey, go out there and say something to the fans, you know. You have been the longest here and you're the leader of the clubhouse. Go and say something to them. But reality is that I just came out of the deal.
That was your first day back. Like, they were welcome back Papi signs
the whole
in the crowd.
time I was at home. I was angry just like everybody else. I mean, the marathon, dude, to do something like that, really?
Right.
Come on. You know that the marathon is something that is special for all of us? I mean, I'm not saying that you gotta do it on any other time, but that pissed me off. That was, I feel like somebody stabbed me in the back.
Well, because, I mean, like, I feel like up until you just moved here, like, you would have considered yourself a Bostonian. Like, you were living there.
Boston is my city, man. Boston is like my place. I'm always happy to go back to Boston, you know. I moved down here for many reasons, you know, family, things like that, you know, but Boston is like my house.
Yeah.
Like, I always gonna look at Boston like one of my special places, you know. The people is super nice. In Boston, when I go there, it seems like the city embraced me every time I go there.
I can't imagine why.
Yeah. So Boston, but in the marathon, man, that was painful. That was devastating. People losing their life, you know. It was a game changer for all of us. So when I got the microphone, it was a lot of anger behind. To be honest with you, it was something that I would do it over and over and over if I have to. You know? And I you know. What I say, you will say it.
I was there. I would have said it. Yeah.
Like you hand the microphone to anybody.
Right.
With the anger that we have and the way things went down, I should have said more.
Yeah.
You know, like it was. That was intense. That was something that we never gonna forget about.
Yeah.
Ever.
What would it mean for you? I mean, you out of all the moments that you've had in your career. What would it mean for you if one day there's a statue of David Ortiz, but the statue is in the shape of you walking off the field with like your hand up after that moment? Would you want it to be that moment, or would you have another moment?
I don't know. Nobody ever had done the statues for me. So
I mean, you know it's coming.
Well, if it's coming, it's always gonna be welcome. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. You know, like I'm never gonna forget about that moment. That moment is, I didn't really realize how special that moment was until later when the camera went around and I was seeing everybody's face. The one thing I feel after I said that was the confidence level. Fuck yeah!
Yeah.
Like I saw that and I was like, oh shit, what did I just say? You know, like the confidence level coming from the people. I mean, remember, I'm the only guy on the field. Got 45,000 people around me. I say that and all the noise collapsed right where I was. That was one of the most intense moments, but in a good way, that I have ever felt in my life. How loud and confident people to scream at. You know what I'm saying? And that is good, man.
Yeah, that was I feel like it almost is, you know, when you talk about like what would be your statue moment, I feel like it has to be that, because not only you know, when you want to talk about baseball moments, like there's so many baseball moments that they could use for a statue, but because of your baseball moments, because you were that guy for the Red Sox, that's why you were the guy that had the microphone in your hand that day, to be the one to go out there to deliver that message, and that it meant so much to so many people, because it's like, that's fucking David Ortiz that just said that. Like that means so much more than if anyone else in uniform goes out there and says the same exact thing.
That was good. And you know, the city lived up in that moment. Everything just, the confidence level was there. I'm so glad that everything went down that way, because, you know, when things like that goes down, you freaked out.
Yeah.
You just don't, you want to start looking life differently. And that's what this dirty ass, trashy people try to do. It try to change your perspective about life. Want you to hide, want you to start doing things, want you to not do what freedoms means, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes those things had to happen so we appreciate and love more what we do and what we have.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I guarantee you that changed a lot of people's life and way to see life, you know? And I think the city is back on their feet.
They are. My only regret is that you shouldn't have bleeped yourself in the World Series. Yeah, you should have just dropped it again. Be like, the dude from the FCC said I could say it, so like, don't tell me that I can say it if I can't say it. Like, that's on you. We just won the World Series.
That was a one-time thing, so.
Yeah, definitely should have done that. And then, I mean, last but not least, that final season of yours, like, leading the league in doubles, leading the league in OPS, slugging percentage. I mean, across extra base hits, you almost had 40 home runs. How on like 1 foot? I mean, how and on top of that, it is that, like what I said earlier about like the Super Bowl week. You had the Super Bowl week every city that you went to. It was a goodbye tour everywhere that you went. You know, when you're talking about having to prepare your body in a way that throughout your career you didn't have to put that much time and effort and attention to prepare yourself to get on the field in that last season. I got to do that, and I have to prepare for a baseball game, and now I have to do all this shit because I'm meeting with the media, I'm getting your gifts and all that. If you were to complain how drained you were after that season
I was
compared
drained.
to like 04, 07, and 13, like where does that one rank?
First one. But on the other hand, when you say goodbye, it's a weird feeling. It's easy to say it and done it, but sometimes, some city, I was on the bus on the way to the airport, and I realized that I'm not gonna come back to this city to play baseball anymore. That hit home. You know what I'm saying? So I try to take it day by day. I try to enjoy that season more than any others. I even did tours to city that I was going for 20 years that I never did anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I would pick what was a good tour to do in the morning in that city, and I would go and see things. Oh man, this was here. I've been coming here for 20 years.
Yeah.
Like I remember I went to Seattle and I was never at the fish market, and then I went. Actually, I went for a second time because the first time I took my family there, and but I forgot about it because I went there for a little bit. I went to eat and then I left. But the one time I kind of like walk around, see what everything was like. Places like that city had that you don't, baseball player never really get to enjoy, because we are on the late schedule, and by the time most of the guys that like to sleep wake up, it's time to go to the field.
Yep.
I was a morning guy, so I was able to go and do those things and then come to the field early, get prepared. But I took it day by day, Jared. You know, like you play with your mind as much as you can.
Yeah.
Your mind, it's either you play with your mind or your mind play with you. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I tried to do. And it got to the point where once the game time shows up, I was in a good mood because I feel like I did so many things. My day wasn't wasted. Just me sleeping and not getting to know things and places, I feel like sometimes I got to the point that because I got up early to go and do those things, my circulation in my body was better, my body feel better. So once I start doing the physical therapy, my body would accept it even better because I was in the mood since early,
Yeah.
Like sleeping wasn't good to me. Sleeping as much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think, man, I'm so glad and happy that everything went well that year, because I feel like I gave the fans my last dance, my last shot, like here. And it was good.
And nothing was left in the tank. And I want to know how important was it to you? Because hey, we have this same problem at Barstool, where it's like you're playing for the Red Sox, right? You prove yourself to the Red Sox. You're like, I'm the fucking guy here. But like, why do I have to keep asking for this contract? Or like when we're going into negotiations, but then, this guy from the outside, he's proven it somewhere else, but he hasn't proven it here yet, but you're willing to write this fat ass check to him. So how important was it for your legacy to put all that aside and be like, I understand like there are certain times here where I'm getting a raw deal, but I'm gonna stay here because this is where I wanna be, and this is where I want to make my legacy. How important was that?
Well, I guess sometimes we had to learn things the hard way. I hope with the Smokey situation, we kind of get it,
Yeah.
Because sometimes as an organization, when it comes down to those decisions, sometimes it can go to the salary cap. Sometimes, not the salary cap, the money that the teams are supposed to pay that you can go above. Otherwise, you got to pay taxes and that, this and that.
Yep.
But some of the time, you know, I mean, somebody get greedy and don't want to pay to the guy. The thing is that the Red Sox need to know, and I'm pretty sure they do know, that there's a pressure that comes with playing in Boston that is barely some other places, somewhere else. And if you have a player that can handle it, that can deal with and produce at the same time, give you what you expect, that's the guy that you need. Because guys are, I play with a lot of guys that in their city where they play, they were monster. They come to Boston, it's a wrap.
Yeah, Carl
Game
Crawford
over.
was great in Tampa. I agree.
No, you know, I play with a lot of guys, but it wasn't I think it was the environment that they couldn't handle it. You know what I'm saying?
No, I 100% agree.
And to me, like I faced a lot of ugly situations in Boston. And let me tell you, I was a consistent player. And I got pitched by, like, I have a really good relationship with the media in Boston, with a lot of them, and my career was like that. But there's some asshole over there that they make your life miserable.
Yeah, Dan Shaughnessy's the worst. I know. I agree.
So, you know, like, there's a lot of guys that they don't know how to handle it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I used to get mad, whatever, but my mentality was, I'm gonna prove you wrong. It was that, nothing else. You say I stink, you say I suck, okay, I'm gonna prove you wrong. But there's guys that they don't know how to do that. They take it very personal. You know what I'm saying? And those guys also need to leave. They gotta sell newspaper.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the 5 or 6.
They gotta write some crap once in a while.
I don't know who's reading newspapers anymore. People are actually listening to podcasts now, which is a good thing that you're in the podcast game. So the last question that I have for you, I know your dad was talking about this, where he was like, you know, when, because you used to rip the heads off of was it your sister's dolls, and use those as baseballs?
Don't even go there anymore. I think my sister still hate me because of it.
Yeah. So like
a doll with no head. Think about it. He used to, with a scissor, my mom's scissor, shake the head off, and that was a baseball. A really good baseball because you can hit it as many times as you want, and it would not break.
Durable. So you're a kid using doll heads as baseballs to get your swing down, and your dad was talking about how, you know, you start at that age, and once you get on that track, it's you want to make it to the big leagues, you want to win a World Series, and you want to make it to the Hall of Fame, and you've done all of that, and you're on the ballot next year. How much would it mean for you to get the call where it's like David Ortiz, Baseball Hall of Famer?
That's what the greatest I had, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I never thought about flying that high, you know, because like you say, you wanna, first step, you wanna be a professional baseball player. Next step, you wanna build a career so you can help your family, especially where I come from. All of a sudden, you go into All-Star game, you're winning World Series, you know, you're doing all that. You feel in your mind that you got the complete package. But then all of a sudden, they start throwing your name out there with the Hall of Fame, where the greatest, the best player that I ever played against are part of. And it's a shocker, you know what I'm saying? Because
is it? I mean, your nickname was Cooperstown. I don't know like, how much of a shocker
you know,
that is.
it's crazy because not in a million years I would think that your name, I swear to God, there's not a one player. Go and ask Juan Soto. Have you ever thought about being in the Hall of Fame? What are you talking about? You know, like you don't, when you are down there, you're not dreaming, you're not even thinking about that. Because You can have a great career, but not one of the greatest career like those guys. So if that ever happens, man, it's gonna be appreciation. It's gonna be something that to me is gonna be very special. You know, I mean, you listen to those Hall of Fame, and since you were a kid, and you be like, oh wow, that's like the like the best place to be when it comes down to a career. You know, and nothing. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll record an episode after your speech. I'm down for that. David Ortiz, episode 1 of Call Him Papi in the books. We've got to have some conversations with some other people. Juan Soto, probably another guy that we have to talk to.
I had a question before we hang it up.
Okay.
Who lined you up, bro?
I don't know, is it bad?
Hey, that's some Papi shit right there.
Oh, it is good? Oh, I got to take you to Saugus then. Let's go. Yeah.
The guy's good looking, chicas.
Episode 1 in the books. We appreciate you guys listening. We'll be back. We've got more guests coming around. And again, there's going to be another season. So when David gets into the Hall of Fame,
coming.
We're going to be doing that in Cooperstown. So stick around. We appreciate it.
You watched the whole video and you didn't subscribe? That's fucked up.
Very fucked up. I would agree. We also have a
Click
ton
on
of other
that, homie.
If you like this video that you just watched, we have a ton of others. Go subscribe. Check them out.